I'm the kind of person that'll cheer myself on if you guys don't do it, so it'll get real weird up here. I saw from the back, as per usual when I do comedy, it's like 87% dick owners. So women, I'm gonna rely pretty heavily on you, all right, for feedback, because my brain doesn't really give me a lot of dopamine on its own. So I'm gonna need, let's just practice. Ladies, yeah. Nice. Awesome. Okay, this is gonna be great. All right. Also, I'd like to point out one woman who we're going to connect tonight. Raise your, you look like had the Laura Croft really sexy leather, and you smacked a guy back there. What's your name? What's your name? What is it? Alyssa, I'm Bryn. We're probably already friends. Like if we could you could start making us bracelets back there. That'd be great. Okay, so, all right, so obviously I'm very heavily tattooed. I cannot see any of you. Can you make noise if you're tattooed also? Okay, good. Oh, you guys, I'm going to tell my grandma. She'll be so relieved that I'll have company in hell. So I'm really heavily tattooed, and recently I see a female tattoo artist. Recently, I was getting this piece on my arm, so I'm like laid out on the table, listening to the sweet tones of the tattoo needle, taking my internal pain and channeling it somewhere else, because tattoos are more permanent than therapy. And so I'm laid out, and she's kind of bitching like about how her man's an asshole, and I'm like, I'm a girl's girl, so I'm like, yeah, fuck him, you know? And that's when the male tattooer from the station beside us kind of rolls his little stool over, and apparently he bought his Audacity on sale at Costco that day, because this bitch had a fucking 5-gallon drum of it, like ready to roll, right? So he comes up and he starts to raise his voice, and he goes, no, it's you chicks that are the assholes. You know where this is going. He goes, you just wake up one day and decide you don't love us anymore and pack your shit and leave. And I was like, well, this is the part where I hurt his feelings. And my tattoo artist knows me well enough by now. She just turned the needle off and starts to back up. So I get my fat ass off the tattoo table and I get down on his level. That's how you're supposed to talk to children. And I'm like, Derek, 2 things. Number 1, unless your dick is good enough to make my period start early, fucking lower your voice when you talk to me. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, just packing your bags and leaving, that's not a thing with women. So as a woman, as a living, breathing woman and a sex therapist, allow me to assure you that if that happened to you, Derek, that bitch has been complaining about you to her friends and justifying your dumb fuckery for months, like maybe years. Am I right, ladies, right? Yeah, because we only stay past your dusty ass expiration date, okay? We don't just leave her, that's not a thing for us, okay? And so, Derek starts to get his feelings hurt a little bit, and I'm like, no, Derek, I'm sure you're different, right? With like your little wheelie stool and your facial hair that doesn't connect. Yeah, but if you could just take your, it's somebody out here. Is this me? Yeah, okay. Derek, you and I can talk later. So I just told you, Derek, just to, take your dick beaters over to your own station and fucking mind your business because it's free, you know? So clearly confrontation is my favorite, so, yeah. So anyway, Speaking of what women do and don't do, we really don't even want dick. I've got to be honest, okay? It's my plight in life, I say, right? And if there's anybody out here in the audience, because we are in Bristol, who still believe that sexual preference is a choice, let me just give you a little example. I'm 43, and every day that I wake up, I would still choose a blowjob over emotional availability that a woman could give me, okay? Yeah, that's science, look it up. But what we want as women, we just want to marry our female best friends and raise our kids on like 90s music and emotional awareness, you know? But unfortunately, some of us just are not cut out to be lesbians. Like it's a texture thing for me, I think. And I'm not doing anything half-assed, right? If there are lesbians in here, I get hit on by lesbians all the time. It's my favorite. I think it's the Subaru and the attitude and the tattoos. I wish I could be there for you, but I can't. And so, speaking of not being able to be a lesbian, does anyone else have religious trauma? That's just me. Oh, good! Awesome. You'll be able to tell by the other people's sets that we are in good company here tonight. That religious trauma kind of led me to not really until I was in my 40s, like fully embrace being like a whole sexual being, which is fucking beautiful and awesome and wonderful. But here's the problem I'm running into. And I saw some of you women back here before when you were getting drinks. You're gorgeous. So certainly, but yeah, okay, yes. What's your name?
Me.
The one that said yeah.
I'm Dan.
Dan, I can't wave your hand, Dan. I can't see you. Dan, okay, lovely for you. Do you have a woman with you here tonight?
This one.
I imagine you're gorgeous. Right now, you just look like a beam of light, very angelic. Okay, so here's the thing. This is the problem I'm running into you, Dan. What's your lovely girlfriend? What's your name? Misty. Misty has this problem. Me and Misty and Alyssa for sure have this issue. We get approached by young guys, right? Men that hit on me are like baby fetuses fresh out of the womb, okay? Yeah, I'm talking about like 25 and under. And so I'm thinking when they approach me now, I'm gonna respond with this. I'm gonna say like, what's the first number of your birth year? Because if you're not on an online forum fucking scrolling like you're playing roulette to find that bitch, like I ain't the one, you know? Yeah, and so, but when one's brave enough to approach me in the wild, I want to say, yeah, I want to be like, shh, Colin. I don't want you to waste your time telling me how you are like top tier at eating pussy. Because I don't believe you. And listen, that is not personal, okay? It's because I could pick any of my Alyssa, Misty, me, any of the other three, I'm looking at you, women right here, and we would clean house. We would win an Oscar at the Fake Orgasm Awards, okay? So it's not really personal, but you haven't been around long enough and Mama's tired. I do not have time to train up the next generation of overconfident white men, you know? But I met Jared. Is it Jared in the back? Jacob, I was close, and his girlfriend Chelsea. We've got it, right? Let's hear it for the only black guy here, okay? Let's make some noise. Yes. And I just want to announce to Chelsea, we got it. We got it figured out, right? We don't have to train. He knows. Okay. And so Chelsea's going to have a good time after this. We can at least know that, all right? So anyone in here old enough to remember the jingle to Carmen Sandiego, that fucking slamming ass song, right? Okay. Yes. Okay. So here's the thing, is when Colin approaches me, I want to say, if you're going to come at me that age, come at me correct. I want a full resume, okay? It needs to have two things. One, a solicited dick pic with your face in it so I know what you're selling me is connected to your body, because I'm not getting tricked. And number two, I need two living women who can look at me into my eyeballs when they are your reference for giving a full and complete orgasm, because listen, it's what I don't want to do, Colin, is I don't want to look at your sweet angelic face in between these thick thighs and have to sing to you, will you find my clit? It is right inside my labia. You know? But keep searching. It could be a Where's Waldo. You'll learn, because women who aren't me and Chelsea might have the energy to train up this next generation, okay? Alyssa, Misty, all of you women, the orgasmers here, fake or real, the men who've been lied to, I'm sorry. But I want you to have a great time tonight. So give it up for your host, Jared. You guys have been so fun, so fun.